Hey guys, welcome to Vibes with Jen. And today topic is going to be about progress leads to perfection, which is intriguing because I've been doing a lot. I'm letting an instant part of me to balance out the energy really quick. Um, but I've been doing a lot of work dealing with the past because I do recognize that the past is the future. But a lot of people they probably be like, get out of reminisce land, but it's important too. And it's funny because I have been seeking to do this a while ago before I hit depression mode. Then I realized I could be hitting back into that stage again. But when I was going through something, I always heard people say, when you're going through something, it's time to go back home. And for me, I thought, I'm going to go stay with my mom for a little bit. So I got rid of all my stuff and whatever. So I felt like there was no way my mom was going to turn me down to, come stay with her. Because, I really needed some mental support. It wasn't even about the finance part. Like my home was still good. I just left my home just because, I wanted to be in that type of energy. And they say, when you're going through something, when you hit rock bottom or whatever, go home. But, and also I start realizing I needed to know more about my younger self because I really do not remember it. Which is playing out actually what I'm doing right now. How I'm realizing the past is the future. So there probably is a good amount that I did when I was younger that I still do as an adult. But I was hoping to get that out of my mom, but it didn't work out so well. Um, but I just do realize just aspects where like I probably did that was younger when I was younger, or I sleep watch how my son operate and it helps me understand certain aspects about myself better. What is it, Hanson? Why are you standing over me? What is it?
She wouldn't let you stay at her house. To be honest with you.
Oh, I wouldn't say all that. I would say that apparently she knew. My mom knows I'm a strong individual. She always knew that, and it's one of those I guess lessons I had to figure out on my own. My son just whispered in my ear and said she's a bad mother. That's why she didn't let you stay with her. Everybody has their own guilt issues to work on. I personally know that aspect about my mom, and I would say even with myself, but I don't mind facing my fears and things that I've done that people say I should regret. It's just like I don't regret it. I learned from it and I don't mind speaking on it. Because I know other people fall into that same intriguing pothole as into if you knew better, you could have did better. Um, but yeah, with me saying that, I wouldn't say she's a bad mother. She didn't know better. And on top of that, she knows I'm a very strong person. Like, you can figure this out on your own. But I really did need, some mental support from a wise person. And maybe she was not that wise of a person to give me that guidance that I was seeking. Now let's leave it at that. But for me personally, even with me, I'm talking this topic. It's okay. I said I'm talking about this topic. Um, as an adult, it's like I don't really even care honestly about what happened in the past. It's like I do want to know, I'm seeking about, what did I do when I was younger? What did I want to be? Yeah, all those type of things I really want to know. I be seeking that answer because it's like it will help me understand now. Because once I became an adult, I had a child. Once I turned 21, I had a child. So I never really got to learn myself. It was like, I don't know. Um, it was like, I don't know. It was just still focusing on somebody else other than myself. I never got to learn. What do you like to do? What do you know? I don't know. It's a program. It's a program of a process. How they say things are supposed to be once you become a mother. But it's like before I was a mother, I was Brittany first. I was myself first. But that's past history, but it's present at the same time. Um, but I realize I'm back in dealing in marriage energy also. Um, it's a oneness aspect, and it was speaking on working on a marriage. And at first, I was like, I got irritated, but I was like, you know what? That's actually good. You know why? See, that's the thing with married people when they start going through situations. Sometimes they don't want to fix it. It's just, I want to stay mad as long as I can. And it's like they don't want to be mad, but they want to be mad. I felt like that type of energy, like, food these. I think not work on nothing. But at the same time, that was actually nice. But this morning when I got up, this was yesterday energy. When I woke up today, for some reason I started thinking of my actual family member, my Aunt Whitney. And when I went to go see her, my brother passed away because that was the most recent time I seen her. She didn't look the same. You know, it was intriguing how somebody you can look up to and admire so much. My Aunt Whitney, she always was working. She always had a good finance situation. She was always in shape. She was always in the gym, so she had a banging body. You know, she just was something you like, I want to be like you when I get older. You know, it was one of those type of aspects. And on top of that, I used to stay with her before I moved to Columbus. Like, my mom moved here first, but then I wound up coming up here with my mom to help her. But I was staying with my Aunt Whitney. But when I went to go see her, she didn't look the same. You know, I know people gain weight and all that. You know, people have the situations, but she really did not look the same. And it just kept getting me. Because, you know, sometimes you want to ask the person, like, are you okay? Or, you know, you're looking a little heavy. You know, like your weight has picked up. But some people think that's rude to say that. And for me, it's like my mind was on the fact that my brother just passed away and all that. And just, I actually wanted to spend time with my mom, honestly. But my mom was uncomfortable where she was at. So we wound up going to my Aunt Whitney's house because she felt it was a better setup, you know, the settings. Because my grandma is a clutter machine. She liked to keep everything, you know. And on top of that, I really do believe that my mom, you know, just wasn't happy about the fact that she was back staying with her mom. But it's like, that's the other thing too. My mom stays with her mom at the moment. You know, it's intriguing how tables turn sometime and just flow. But I do believe everything plays out for a reason. But my Whitney, I feel like something going on in her foundation where they have to work on it. And I believe that's the energy I was picking up on as into, you need to fix that. I realized it in myself. Like, I start looking like her. It's an energy. I don't know if you like me, but if you like me, sometimes when certain people you need to pay attention to, you start looking like them. And I had like a look in me. Cause I went, where'd I go? I was out at the cemetery. I went to go visit my wonderful gang out of the cemetery. Just, you know, just to go visit. They always with me, but it's something different about going to somebody's actual home other than just, you know, feeling the energy. And on top of that, I look at cemeteries like a museum, honestly. It's things out there that you need to see that are displaying. Because people on their tombstones, they leave you like notes and messages behind as into, you know, that message can help you in your proceeding process. So that's why another reason why I went up there, because it's that type of a setting, which I enjoyed it because I got what I needed, but the people were there, they were just a little too much for me. They made it uncomfortable out this world. Like, people from this, like, the dead people ain't allowed to have no guests or something. They just was like, what are you doing? You know, can I help you? And it's like, whoa. It made me feel like a black person in a white store or something. Like, what the fuck? Why are you harassing me in here, yo? It was weird. It was totally weird. Like, I was like 2 seconds from cussing them out. Like, stop following me, dude. I'm home. Like, you being weird. Go cut the grass. When you see me doing something that's just too much, then come ask me what am I doing. But it's obvious that I'm walking around enjoying, you know, showing respect. But then he told me about his boss said I couldn't leave my bike. Oh, because I parked my bike out by a tree because it's like, that's what I feel like, a tree, you know, a Buddha aspect. I parked right there because it just seemed like the best spot to park it, you know. It's not in the way, it's not an inconvenience. Nobody gonna see my bike and be like, oh, I'm about to run up and grab it. It was ducked off, you know. But he came up to me, he was like, my boss said you can't park your bike right here. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, would it be better if I drove a car up here? Would it be wrong to get out of my vehicle and look around? I was appalled. I was ready to snap. But I had to remember what I was there for, you know. Sometimes the devil be trying you in so many different forms of a way, and that day was that day, but I got what I needed, you know. But it's one of those happy and bittersweet feelings at the same time. It was one of those like, I traveled a good distance to come there. You know, I passed a good amount of my normal aspects to go to that one because I needed to be there for that aspect of energy. Because I did collect energy there that helps guide me. But the people there, they were too much for me. It was too much. But and once again, it was black people too. That's what gave me. I think I'm gonna move on past this topic because my mind is going. But that's important because they always give me a hard time. I just said that. Once again, it was black people giving me a hard dog on time. Like they don't got enough people that's on the DC side. Maybe they don't show respect. They might be out there working, but they might not actually respect what they out there working with. You know, that they want guests too. It's kind of funny because in my real life, the people I stay with don't expect me to have company. They don't expect nobody to come here and see me. They expect me to leave out the house to have company. Like, yo, long as you say I can use this address, I can have people come here and visit me. Like, the fooderies, even if I just sit outside or they just sit in the living room, you know, like in the kitchen, wherever. Like, as long as I ain't go fucking your bed or something, it don't matter, you know. But my mind is traveling a little bit. But he do say I can use his bed sometime. He don't say what I can use it for, but he do say, you know, go up there, lay in the bed, you know, make yourself comfortable. I'm just saying that's important just because I said that. But I prefer sex outside anyway, so it's okay, don't matter. Should I fast forward or rewind? Back to what I talk about when I went to go see my aunt. My mind just went there real quick and talk about my brother too. That deceased energy that helps guide me. It's not even deceased. It's another way I can explain them. How can I explain you guys? Deceased. They left out of this physical form. That's the only way I can explain it. They're not in this physical form anymore, but they're still there. They're there to air. So what we inhale is what keeps us functioning. If it stops, if they stops, then we stop. It's the only way to explain it. But back to my aunt. Okay, I'm sorry, my mind. I feel like a little snap bomb at the moment, but it's a good thing. It's just I had to speak on that because that's an important aspect that seemed like it was a disrespectful aspect at the same time. That it was no good. I was looking like her. I was looking at the pictures I took, and I was looking like her. Like, you know, sometimes you look at something or somebody else. I'm referring to myself. I was looking at myself, and I'm just like, who the heck am I looking like? Then I thought about it, like, oh my God, that's my aunt. I look like my aunt. What this helped me understand? There's a problem in her relationship for sure, which I kind of picked it up there, but at that time I was in two different aspects. That's something that plays out a lot. Even when I talked about my past, when it came to Mr. Leafs, I really was into him, but I had so much going on that I really couldn't function and focus on him because I had some real shit going on in my life. You know, where it's just like, it's hard to pay attention to somebody when you got some real life shit going on, you know. They thinking about sex and I'm over here like, fuck sex, you know. I got a sexual assault going on with my son, you know. It just wasn't where my mind was at. And it was the same energy when I went to go see my aunt. It's like I went to go see about my brother, and on top of that, my mom, because I know she was going through it, losing a child, you know. For me, I think that's quite extreme when a child dies, you know. It's her first child that died, I would say, you know. She might have had miscarriages, but an actual one you raised into an adult and then they just die, you gotta be devastated. And I do realize she was messed up in the head a little bit, but still functioning. That's something about I noticed about myself, which I'm feeling like I recognize it in my family too. When we go through things, somehow we still function. Even my son, he went through things, but you will not recognize it because we still function so normal. Like where you just be like, you seem normal. You know, you look fine for the most part, you know, but really going through some shit. which is, I guess, good but bad at the same time. You know, um, but I think that's it about that aspect. That's why I'm gonna keep speaking on the marriage aspects. I do realize I'm actually translating for my family too. I'm picking up on your energy, yo. As to where the past do reflect present relationships, if that makes sense. You gonna close that freezer or do it? Which goes back into my personal self now. As to how I have a connection with somebody. I have a connection with two people, as I explained. One is a moon pride, the other one is sun pride. Which I feel like I'm in sun pride right now. Which that's Mr. Leaves, and then what am I call you? What am I gonna call you? Moon. I'm gonna call you Moon. I used to call you God, but I'll call you Moon. Jesus. Anywho, him. Husband number one. I don't know where to start with this one. I don't know. It's gonna go with the energy how I started off as into progress is perfection. In myself, I noticed that people I deal with, it's always a rushing energy. Like everything is rushed, where it's like you don't even have time to soak anything in because everything is rushed. And I picked that up just the day off of an exercise I started practicing on myself that I'm gonna work on. I started moving so quickly where I got a headache very quickly, and it was like, damn. It made me feel like, am I out of shape or something? Like, you know, it's been a while since I worked out, but I got an instant headache, and on top of that, I didn't eat anything. But it was a rushing energy. Like, why are you rushing, yo? But it's like people that I deal with, I date, or even, you know, thinking I'm building a foundation with, it's always rushed. We always rush everything. It's never slow and steady. It wouldn't even not be even slow and steady, but it's just like everything is quick. Which is intriguing for me to say that because I do enjoy instant behavior. That's why I even started posting on Instagram, you know, sharing my work there that I do, because like it's instant, it's quick. You know, people don't want to wait all day for information. They, you know, if you like me, your mind starts straddling off somewhere else. Sometimes they say that's bipolar behavior. What's the other one? ADD, I think, where your mind just can't be in one place. It's just shh. But for me, that is good. That means you know how to hit different frequencies. You're not a clown where you just on one little frequency. You know how to maneuver around like you're supposed to be. We got different frequencies to hit. We got different frequencies to hit. At least I do. And it helps benefit me a lot when I just don't stay in one zone for too long. That might have been my problem in school, honestly. They teach on one subject for too long. In my mind, I be wanting to ask questions, and we ain't supposed to be asking questions then, and then my mind starts thinking about something else. I noticed about that as myself as an adult. I could be watching something, and I really might not even understand a word that's in it. I need to stop, Google that word, then proceed. Then probably think about how that all fit together. It's just like, that's how a person I am. Then once I figure that out, I ascended and I started thinking about something totally different. Like, it'd be intriguing. It's like one key unlocks a lot of different frequencies when you understand what that key is. You know, it's intriguing. And communication. Some people say I'm not good. There have been a lot of people who told me that I am not good with communication. And for me, it's like we don't speak the same language then. It's something that I just learned about a love language. We don't speak the same one because I am very, 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 very good at communication. That's my best aspect is communication. It's just people understand different aspects. I feel like I show love through my communication. The way that I communicate, it's like I will never leave you. I'm always going to communicate with you. Trust me. It's quite extraordinary, personally. But for some people, that's not enough. You know, forget communication. We need some money or something. But it's like the right person will understand. That's a whole dollar sign right there. What are you talking about? But I don't know. It's just things that I'm learning from my past attitude, where things just move too quickly. And it's intriguing because recently I went out and about. It was in that I went to the cemetery actually to go visit my gang, my wonderful help, and to ask for help. You know, I went there to ask for help. I was seeking help um, from the eternal side of that energy that's that way. Um, but then I came back. I was sitting at the bus stop, and this guy had came up who I seen before when I was out and about. He's an older guy on top of that. Um, and I said hi to him because I recognized him. And eventually I realized he recognized me too. He just didn't say, you know, why you never called me. He just, I don't know, I can't remember what he said. I think he asked me like how I was doing or whatever, but I skipped over that question because like I didn't want to talk about how I've been doing because personally, I've been ascending in life, been great. I want to say reality wise, it's just like, whoa, what is going on, yo? Like I feel stuck, like I can't move. It's intriguing. There be days where I just want to leave where I'm at and go just live outside. Like fuck it out. At least I have some type of peace out there, you know. Then I have a side where it's just like, no, you can ascend where anywhere, yo. If you're not about to be bullied out of the area, that's weird. I have a whole mind battle sometimes myself. It be intriguing, but I have results that show there's no way that I'm not ascending. You know, I'm quite blessed. No worries. Um, But I had skipped over that question because I was just like, I didn't feel like getting into it and having to explain all that. But he wound up asking me where I stayed at, and I'm just like, where do you think I stay at? And he looked at me. He was like, Upper Arlington, somewhere like that. And I'm just like, I got a chuckle out of it because it's like, what? How intriguing. But then I wanted to tell him like, yo, like really, I stay with somebody and I'm technically homeless, you know, because I don't have my own place. I stay with somebody, so that make me homeless because I don't have my own home. But I just thought it was funny that he said Upper Arlington because Upper Arlington, they be in my ass for sure. They be giving me all types of tickets, and the tickets be for speeding. Which is, it goes with even how I sat there and said about the energy. When I deal with people, it's a rushing energy. I used to drive fast because my mind moves so quickly. I learned to balance it out. Like, I feel like I be in harmony with, you know, the traffic. Even when I'm out and about driving with my ex, riding around, he be telling me to stop being a driver because I really be in sync with it. Like, I don't know if people about to turn and all that and they ain't paying attention. I'm in sync. I be really balanced. But I just thought it was funny because it's like those ones are the ones that give me tickets all the time. They tell me that I be moving too fast, you know, which actually works out with my energy very well. If you operate like a Buddha, where you gotta sit still sometime, you know, it makes sense. Where it's like you don't have to rush, you know, slow and steady, honey. But at that time, I just thought it was funny. Like those ones always tell me I'm speeding. Like, I got pulled over, headed to a red light. They told me I was speeding. I was speeding to get to a red light. The light was red, you know, and I actually stopped. The cop car came behind me. Once the light turned green, I drove through and then he put his lights on and told me I was speeding. But it's like, yo, you seen this red light just like I did. I even had to stop. You stopped too. But you still pulled me over and told me I was speeding. But he got me just because I didn't have no license and insurance. He got me because of that. But it's like, yo, look, dude, I know how to drive. You know, my insurance is this old ass car that I just bought. Okay, I bought a 1994 Toyota Camry. Like it's built good. I ain't worried about nobody crashing into me. They crash into me. They more out of luck than me. Okay, like this is built nicely. But they wanted me to have insurance, and you know, license and all that. But I had an identification card, which I probably didn't even look like my identification card. I don't look like none of my identification cards, honestly. So it's like, what is that card for? You know, just ask me what my social is and figure it out. You know. But anyhow, they got me because of that aspect. So it was a win for them. You know, it was a lie of a win, but it turned out to be a win just because I didn't have those aspects. But I just thought that was funny. I had to share that because it was like, for Arlington, those guys. They had a nice courtroom, too. I went to their courtroom because I had to go there for my court date. They had a nice courtroom. It reminded me of church, honestly. When I walked in, I was so excited. I felt like I started skipping and everything. Because it felt like a church. Like, yo, this looks like a church. I ain't about to lose in here. There's no way I'm going to lose in here. So I was excited. Which I got off to, you know, they let me go. I was like, chia. They said I had to pay a ticket, but it's still on my tab. I'm waiting to get my money, so it's still on my tab. But it was another time. Was it the same time? I went there a few times because I had a few tickets. I still got a few tickets, but they're gonna get expunged or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna pay it off eventually. They had one of them little crazy people chairs. And I seen it on what was that on? Was that Con Air? I think it was Con Air, which is a good freaking movie. Oh my god. I love the introduction of them when they come in, like the criminals. They used to be perfectos. They ain't nothing to play with. And I felt like one of those. And they had that little crazy people chair in there where they like strap you down like this. You got your little arms in there and your feet. And I had to go sit on it. I sat in it because it was in there. I was like, oh, this is a once in a life chance to do this. So I sat in the chair. It was nice. But I got interrupted because I guess they had cameras in there and I didn't realize it. And he came in there. He was telling me, you know, you can't play with that. Get out of that chair. And it's like, all right, whatever, dude. So that was my experience with them. It was actually nice. And they got me McDonald's before. That was the same day. That same day. I don't know, but they got me some McDonald's. They bought me some McDonald's. It was so nice. They had a fry and a burger. I think it was a McDouble or a cheeseburger. Something. It was the white wrapper. I think it was a double cheese and the fry they got me. It was nice. That's why I don't ever had nothing bad to say about the place, even though they always taking me to jail, you know. I actually like the place. That's the intriguing part. We always be in intriguing circumstances when we have to meet up. It's intriguing. They even be surprised when each time I talk to an officer, they be so amazed. Like, how are you in this type of situation? You know, are you just so wise? You know, I'm just like, I know, right? How am I in this situation? You know, but it's a lot of lessons I gotta learn, and they're not always the most funnest and pleasantest. But it helps me identify and recognize things that I have to, because it's part of my work. I do light in the dark, and if you don't experience some things, you're not gonna know how to recognize it. You know, but that's the aspect. What else do I want to talk about when it comes to that? I feel like it's something else. I'm gonna pull some cards. I planned on pulling cards. My mind went all the way down the block, but it's all important. Let's see what's in this card deck really quick. Upper Arlington, those guys. The card flipped up. Because I belong in PAL, honestly. When I first went to PAL, we went riding around, and I was like, I don't know how we got in PAL, but we was riding around out there, and I was like, oh my god, it is gorgeous out here. You know when you just feel at home, you just feel at home. I got to crying and everything, because oh my god, it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. The only thing I don't like about it is I do like a little bit more privacy. Like all the houses are close together. And, I want to be like 10 whole miles away from you guys. And my drive through is so long that you better got a good reason why you're this way. I'm just saying. Yeah. Gotta balance, but give it somewhere else. This is going with this marriage energy. Gotta balance with somebody, but you're giving somewhere else. It's financially. Financially, you're giving somewhere else. You're investing somewhere else. Jeez, that's the first card that came out. Queen of Pentacles. There's communication. There's communication about your foundation. Somebody's telling you about your foundation. they're talking about your foundation. That's the card that came out, which is kind of intriguing because even how I started off and I was talking about somebody's foundation on top of how it's reflecting in mine, how I'm able to. How I just sat there and said, if you've never been through something, it's hard to identify it. If you ain't experienced it, how do you know how to recognize it? And for me personally, how would I be able to recognize if somebody was going through something in their marriage and nobody said it? Like, nobody didn't actually say it, but it's obvious signs that they start displaying that let you know something's wrong. You just gotta pay attention. That's what I feel like that energy was for me to explain it. Yeah, headed somewhere. Where are you going? You're headed to your foundation. Somebody's taking you to your foundation. You hear that speeder out there, huh? Do you hear that speeder out there? I'm being a little sarcastic. He got a motorcycle. I'm all with the fast business, but you know, there's a time and place for that. But I know how to drive slow, Kai. I'm just saying. I feel like I shouldn't be encouraging for people to be driving fast right now. I feel like I shouldn't be encouraging people to drive fast right now. That's funny. But really, somebody's taking you to your foundation. Oh, the Knight of Swords. This is energetically, somebody's telling you about your foundation. This is the energy where you can feel something is wrong. It's the eternal aspect bringing this to you. Like you're not actually seeing it, which is kind of intriguing because your spouse may play real big on this one. If they're not an honest one, they can just, you're crazy, why are you thinking that? And they're doing it. The first card that came out, that's your balance, that's them giving. But your intuition, which is the eternal side, is telling you this. You already know it. Which is kind of intriguing because I recently did do a translation. It was saying somebody's going to be telling you about your foundation, but you already know. It's the eternal aspect that told you that, which I keep feeling the need to say your intuition. Because it comes through the crown chakra. It's in the brain area. The all-seeing eye. It's all in there, but it comes through the air. And it's justice basically because it got the sword on it. Justice is telling you that your spouse is doing something. But it's energetically. You know it. And your instincts are right. Man. Yeah, it's the eternal aspect. That's double. These are all swords too. From you headed somewhere to the eternal aspect coming to you energetically to the eternal aspect giving you your spouse. That's the crown on there. This has got to be a guy that's stepping out. Yep, and you got 6 and 7. It's obvious. Hey, what energy. What else we got going on in here? But that's actually good. Even with me looking at this card, with the crown being on there, this is going to get fixed. This will be a celebration. When? I'm not sure. But I did pick up the energy as into okay, let's work on this marriage. And what did it say on there? Your spouse normally tells you what she wants. Do you listen? They could be telling you what they want. You just totally clueless. Then they're craving, but it's like as they're craving, you're totally focused somewhere else, and you're given financially. Maybe they need the finances, and you just totally just invest in somewhere else. You're helping somebody else's foundation grow. Their foundation is growing. That can even be a pregnancy, honestly. It's growing. Where they're investing that is growing. They can be getting a house, rent getting paid. They're established because they're giving. Strength card. Death card. And intuition. Alrighty. Your strength is your foundation. That's amazing. You have to head to your foundation. It's your strength. It's something that's important in there. It's in the communication. There may be no communication right now. Like, it may be upset behavior where it's like, I'm not talking to you, don't talk to me, There has to be a coming together aspect. And it's the strength. It's something that needed to be said, spoken. That's intriguing. And even on top of this in the strength card, this symbol, the infinite symbol is there. And it's going with that crown. That's on top of this justice sword. There's something that gotta be said. Oh, yeah. Eternal aspect is bringing it to you. You gotta use your intuition. It came out. The death card. Yeah, there's gonna be communication. Y'all gonna speak. And it's gonna end. That's nice to know. This is a happy ending. It's a drainful but happy ending. And progress. It's a nice progress that's gonna happen just by even speaking and not speaking. But energetically, one is getting the information about what's going on. That they know what's going on, but they may not tell you. They know what's going on, or maybe they did. I don't know. But this is coming off as there's no communication. And having to come together. Somebody's taking you to your foundation. You're headed to your foundation. That's so much. It even reminds me of how I just sat there and said, somebody did take me to see my Aunt Whitney. It was my cousin. She took me down to Warren. Well, she took me to Girard to see my mom. My mom stayed in Girard. My grandma stayed in Girard. But we wanted to travel into Warren to my aunt's house. This is what this remind me of. This is headed and it's over water. This is a far distance. But even if it's like not that far, the whole fact that y'all not together, you're not even talking, coming together is going to be beneficial. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. That's so what that is. This is so the past is the future. I swear to God. It's like in my brain, I keep going right back to that image. Me coming there, I was able to see what the problem was. You can feel, like, I didn't feel it at that time. I wasn't even thinking about even seeing my aunt, honestly. I was just, I'm going to see my mom, We might got our own little problems going on, which I hate to say we got problems. We really don't. It's just we don't talk. I'm not in the business of forcing people. Because I try and I want to get my feelings hurt, and I don't like that feeling. It made me feel like I'm trying to date her or something. She got me chasing her around. It's like, yo, this is way too much. But to an extent, I understand it, because like when I go through things, I normally do push people away, and it's not on purpose. I might start and stop answering my phone, or but it's like at the end of the day, I always do that. It's not like I just start doing it. That's why it's like it's hard for people to understand when something is wrong with me, because I have a consistent behavior where I really don't really change unless you pay attention. I might start sleeping too much, start eating too much. It's just certain aspects you just have to pay attention to. But overall, my behavior is always consistent. But it's hard to know. But this is that energy. I had to go there to see it, to recognize it, be able to identify it. So when I do feel that feeling, I know what time it is. That's what that is. That's the freaking strength aspect. It's communication, not it's gonna happen. Something that needs to be said. That's so intriguing. That's really intriguing. The lovers, ay. The page of swords just is upside down. Things are not coming together. Okay. Not resonating. And they're not resonating. They're freaking probably lying. Ay. I think this could be a pregnancy energy. Page of Swords is upside down, just as in the reverse. And coming together. Not coming together. Not resonating with each other. I'm feeling something. I come to you, you say, nah, why would you think that? Might even start a whole argument with you, knowing this is exactly what they're doing. Which is just messing up the balance. Things ain't coming together the way they're supposed to. Because even if you feel that and you went to them, they just like, yeah, and so, I don't know what type of relationship you got, but they just like, they were honest with it, like, hey, I've been needing attention or something, or, I don't know. It's hard to just get more than one explanation, but I feel like it's in that aspect. I do realize when people feel like they're being ignored, or they feel lonely, which goes with being ignored, they do start wandering off, which is intriguing. I even found myself recently doing that. I had to catch myself like, whoa, am I feeling desperate? Whoa. I'm so used to being by myself, but eventually it's like, okay, yo. I learned the word is called skin starvation, where you need physical contact. It's important. It's like, how long can you go, yo? I do know there's saints and nuns, but I'm pretty sure they get it in somehow. For sure. They got, there's people who hug on them and who really genuinely love them, that touches them. It ain't all about sex, just hugs, kisses, some type of an affection where there's skin on skin contact is in a, can you get your words out, honey, huh? A genuine loving form. It helps a lot. When you're not getting none of that, it's intriguing. And it can have you wander off in a whole different lane where you start becoming desperate and you just, hey, Chet, you said hi to me, so now we just gonna talk all the freaking time. I don't know. It's just that type of energy. But for me, I wound up downloading this app called Upward. It's I think a Christian dating app. Which for me, I thought it'd be nice because like to get out and meet people, but it's not even getting out. For me, it's weird to even think of online dating just because I do spiritual work. Even how I'm communicating with you right now is energetically the same aspect. Like I want physical contact, which I know we can start off that way and then eventually meet up and all that, but it's just weird to me. It's like I already do that aspect. I'm satisfied in that aspect already. But then on the flip side, it's just like it's weird to get out sometime and think of dating because it's like you just gotta wander around being all desperate, Put on a little outfit. Like even I look kind of cute today. I got a new shirt today. It's cute, just go wandering around hoping somebody see you and pay attention. That shit's weird to me. So I don't do it. but I know it will bring me some body. But it's weird to me. Or people go to the bar, hoping somebody run into them. Or it's weird to me. It's weird, so I don't do it. So I guess in the meantime, we're gonna stay lonely until I get a pet, and then I'll be good to go. Who knows? I don't know. Dating world is weird to me, yo. People expectations be too much. They want too much too quickly, and then their intentions don't be right, and then you have to start all the way over again. It'd be too much. Cause the guys, I think they're supposed to get sex so quickly. You're supposed to invest in them so quickly, buy them stuff, and all that financially. And it's just like, then it don't work out because they're probably talking to other people, and then you give them what they want, and then they just skirt. You gotta start all the way over. And in the female aspect, it don't look like it's a beneficial aspect for us. Definitely, when I do recognize the importance of the chakra of our wonderful V area, it's a very important aspect where too many people should not be even diving in there. Honestly, I think that's even my thing. I know the importance of it. That's another thing I wanted to talk to my mom about, because I have talked about it before. As into when my mom realized I was sexually active, which I have to say, how did she know that? But if she liked me, she paid attention. She know her child, You started acting different. I recognized certain things, But she never told me how she recognized, and I never asked because I ain't got a chance to. When I was younger, I don't know. I was just upset that she took me to the damn pastor to talk to the pastor, because the pastor and his wife, because she realized I was sexually active. I was appalled. I feel like that was her job, to sit there and talk to me, about the experience and all that, and, but she took me right to church, put me on full display. I don't remember how that conversation with us even went. It probably went in one ear and out the other because I was upset. I went with upset intentions. I was upset. I didn't care what they had to say. But now that I'm older and I'm learning, I realize that was the best thing she could have done. It's a very important aspect. Definitely when you transfer energies and you don't realize, a lot of people got trauma.com, and they don't even know about their trauma. Or they do, but they don't think it's that serious where they are actually transferring their energy, to somebody else, and they take on like your whole DNA. Like, it's some serious business. That shit might start displaying in you. You don't know where it's coming from. It's because of that. It's no good. But I actually been wanting to tell her, thank you. I understand, but I ain't been able to even do that. Like, I think our whole conversation would be just pretty much thank you. I understand now. Sometimes you gotta live your own lessons out to understand. And for me, I was one of those ones. I am one of those ones who had to live it out to understand. Let her know I've been through a good amount. I'm not coming to judge you, honey. I got my own problems, but you can help me in those problems by telling me about your life. Which is connected to my life. It's like, I am your child, I'm part of you, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to display a good amount of things that you have done. Devil card bound to somebody. Injustice is up under there. Injustice is in reverse. That's not surprising. What is this in between? That's awesome. They got this connection. Well, I have spoken my aunt. I hope she don't get upset by it, but hey, some people say, even how I've been talking about the past, I keep saying, like, I keep going back into the past. A lot of this information I'm talking about is from the past, but if I'm able to speak about it, it's because you're my past, which is, you probably still my present too at the same time, and to help me grow into a sense, I have to talk about the past, so it's just like, you're part of my past, yo. You're part of history, okay? Like, I don't know if people would be so surprised by that. Like, we wouldn't know nothing if somebody didn't keep track the way that I even keep track. They start recognizing things and keeping track of it, where we have history. Like, I hope nobody get offended by it, but it is what it is. But even in this energy, it's the same energy how I speak as into a lot. somebody got the connection. They're able to connect energetically. That's how they communicate. And it's the female that can do that. The guy, the foundation. It's intriguing because even with me thinking that they've been married for a long time. They got married when they was teenagers. My aunt now, I'm 30, so she got to be probably almost hitting her 50s or late 40s. Or I might be pushing it in age, right? But I feel like she's somewhere in that aspect. I'm not honestly sure, but with me being 30 something, she's in her late 40s, maybe hitting 50, if not 50. And they got married when they was teenagers. It was quite one of those happy couples, you know, where it's just like, who would ever think something was wrong in that foundation, yo? Or could ever happen wrong in that foundation? A lot of things go on, people just have no damn clue. On the outside, it looks good. The inside, and my eyes look all big. I got those, I ain't playing with your eyes. They almost look sharp. They look nice. I like my eyes. Looking at my eyes look really nice. They're big. Usually my eyes are low, like this. My eyes look big, open. My eyes are open. I'm awoken around here. I ain't playing with you guys. I'm just joking, but seriously, my eyes are open. My eyes are open. Very potent eyes. Boy, boy. They got the fire. This is all fire. It goes with that trauma as I talked about before. It's probably just now on display. Something that was already connected to his foundation he's displaying. It's a fire energy. It's part of his side. On the female side, it's all like blooming. They even got the little snake in the apple tree. Then they got like, I don't know what to say. Something else is producing. Which is just natural aspect how I think about myself. You know, I keep saying I want to have enough kids. I'm meant to produce. That's just what I'm meant to do. And I grow because of a connection that we will have. Some people don't understand that. Some people do, you know, they have really good connections with their kids. But I mean right from the womb. Because the eternal aspect put that child in there and is guiding that child. And the child will help guide me. Where we can just build beautifully. Because I'm listening to all the sources. You know. And this is what this energy is. Boy. I think I want to get off this energy. I knew it was going to be this energy. I can't escape from my job, but it's just like, it's sad sometimes, you know. They say marriage ain't always easy. You have your ups and downs and all that, but it's never fun when your spouse steps out. And then you know something about them and they still tell you no. There's no way that they're being honest about the situation. That's why things coming together ain't coming together. One, y'all not communicating. Because they might be upset. Or maybe you ain't brought it to their attention yet. That's why it ain't coming together. Because they probably just out here living their little life thinking everything is all Gucci. Like you have no clue. And you know. You have feelings. You looking at them sideways and stuff. Might even start checking their pockets and extraness. Trying to sneak and get that phone. I don't know. People operate in different ways. How do I operate? I don't know. My behavior is a behavior where I would know, of course. But there's no way I'm not going to know. I probably bring it to them, and then they probably tell me a lie. Or maybe they won't, but they probably would lie. Who knows? I haven't been in that type of connection where it's that way. My past behavior, I probably was physical. Like my first actual incident I can explain was with my ex. When we first got together, he was still dealing with his exes. And I didn't know about it. I knew they still talked or whatever, but I didn't know they were still sexually active. But one day he was in the shower and one of his exes texted him and was just like, so, do she got the dick tonight? And I'm just like, I was appalled. You know how you already could with something like, I don't care if you're talking to him. Who cares, you know? You invest all your time in me. You know, y'all was together, y'all probably still connected together. I don't know. I'm not a jealous, insecure person, and that might be my weakness. Cause it's like you should be more on it. Fuck that, leave them alone. I don't know, but it's like I don't think that much into it. But I took the phone up to him in the shower and I was like, "What's this? You know, what is this?" And he just started acting like he was blind, like he couldn't see, like, doing that little foolery stuff. I let him get out the shower or whatever. We argued for a while. And then I think later on in the night, because, we still was in the same vicinity. It's like nothing actually got talked about. It just was, she didn't mean to send that to me. I think that's what he said. She didn't mean to send it to me. She meant to send it to somebody else. And it's like, you don't play with me, dude. But, I think she wound up texting that night, or it was another one. And I lost it. Like, I think I had a milk bottle in my hand. I think I was breastfeeding my son. Or I don't know. Somehow I had milk in a bottle. I think I had pumped and I just getting the bottle. I wound up throwing the milk at him, and we started fighting just because. It's like, you're not going to keep playing with me, dude. Like, I'm sitting here down here being on mommy duty, and you sitting here texting your exes, and they just think everything is Gucci enough to be like, dude, she got the dick tonight? Is it available for me to get too? I lost it. I snapped. And that was the day that we actually separated. I left. And I stayed at a shelter for a while, and then they wanted to help me get my own place. But we stayed together. He wound up living with me still, But that was my first example I can give as to, what happened when you brought it to his attention, or what, I showed it to him. He played blind. Apparently I let it slide, it was like, okay, whatever. But it happened again that night, where it was like, yo, I'm serious, Did she got it tonight? Are you available to sneak out? And I'm at your parents' house in this damn basement, and you sneaking out to go play with somebody else? I think not, fooleries. About to whip your ass. Then I'm gonna leave like what I did, but
commercial break.
I said I'm gonna whip your ass. I'm not for the violence, but you're not about to mentally keep fucking with me. It's not gonna work.
Commercial break.
I'm not condoning violence. Violence is bad, children, okay? And adults, violence is bad. Just let it be. Just leave, but apparently leaving some time ain't enough. It's just like, some people be like, words don't work. Sometimes you have to pop them really quick. Like, if you got kids or whatever, you might tell them to stop doing something. They don't listen. But if you pop them, it shakes things up and they start, they don't do that shit no more. I feel like it was one of those type of situations. But if it was one of those type of situations, how did it proceed? Will we still live together? Great question, Great question. Who knows? And we still stay together. That's the intriguing part. Years later, dealing with kind of the same energy, of exes and, just what are y'all doing? Who knows? It's kind of funny from even saying that, because when we stayed in Abbey Lane, my grandma had came to visit me one day. She been always been wanting to come see me. No, I had times where I didn't want to see them, which goes with that behavior where I'm able to understand my mom a little bit. Because I wasn't the happiest. A lot of people don't understand that. It's like, how are we supposed to understand if you're always somewhere ducked away? I don't normally cry about my situations. I don't just be trying to have pity parties and all that. I'm not good at that. I'm one of those suck it up and move it on, keep it going energies. But there's only so much you can bundle away until you just explode. Where you have a breakdown, you may start going through depression. There's only so much you can suppress before there's no way you can continue to suppress. But she asked me, why are y'all playing house? And I'm just like, how are we playing house, yo? I'm in this damn house. You see me in here, right? How am I playing house? I never understood that. But then again, I did, because it's like, she know I'm supposed to be married and all that. It's like, you're not even married, yo. What are you doing? I don't know, y'all. I see you guys. People normally just have girlfriends. They can even be friends and they stay together. You don't have to be married to somebody to stay with them. That's just my grew up situation where it's like, let's just wait like 20 years and then we get married. Or maybe not, who knows. But that's the energy I picked up from that. What is it, Henson?
Commercial break?
A commercial break.
It's been too long.
I guess you can give me a commercial break.
Commercial break. Happy Halloween. I bought a special guest. His name is Mr. Spidey. But when I say about the energy, it's interesting. Okay. Bye-bye. Now you talk.
That was an intriguing commercial. Little Spideys. Okay. Okay. That a multitasker? Multitasking business happening. Playing house. You like to play house, huh? You like to just do all this little caring stuff and not even married? You don't even got a little token to walk around with? What the foot are these are you doing? That was the energy that's what she came in with, and I was like, oh, lady. But now I know better. Now I still be wondering the same thing. It'd be intriguing. Oneness energies. Energy. It's like I'm surprised, but I'm not at the same time, just because like I felt this energy before I even pulled the cards, which I picked up on it yesterday. I've been using movies to translate, or music, and mixing them both together to help translate instead of using the cards. I've been watching movies, my other translators. I've been using that energy to translate the energy, if that makes sense. So it's like I already knew about this, but it's just like I felt the need to pull the cards today. And it came out. The first card that came out was having a balance, but giving some rose. Then it could be even a pregnancy in this energy. I'm getting it from the Lovers. Because what they're giving, they're growing. I don't know if that's like growing, like literally, like they're growing. They're, they established what they're giving. Like they have their attention nowhere on their foundation. I gone and fell in love with the side piece. These are my confessions. Just when I said it, my chick on the side said she got one on the way. These are my confessions. Oh Jesus. I'm gonna put these cards away and sort them out and pull some more really quick, see if we got anything else in here. It's really sad. It's gotta talk. High Priestess came out again. Yay. It's not reciprocating. It's not going through. It's denial energy. So you got the 2 on the High Priestess. You got the 3 of Cups, but they in reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. But using your intuition, got the 2 on there. Then it goes to the 3. The 3 of Cups, but it's in reverse. You're receiving information, but somewhere it's a blockage. Whether you brought it to their attention and then denying it, or you can be totally denying it. There's resistance in this. From you receiving, there's not movement after then. Then the Wheel of Fortune came out. It's a cycle. Something's circling. Where are you at in this aspect? I'm gonna pull the Traveler card really quick for this Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune got a balance on it. Unlock the door. Is God a police officer? unlocked door. It's not going through. There's a blockage. They're denying it. Somebody's denying it. I want to say it's your partner. They're denying it. You gotta be accepting to talk. You have to talk. You have to communicate honestly to move forward. Because your spouse may have done something, but you might forgive them. You might understand it. You might even have the same idea to do the same thing they did. You just didn't do it. Like sometimes you can be more understanding than your spouse understand that you will be. And it's God the police officer, because you're using your intuition, you know that oneness is telling. But it's like you should have understood that when y'all got married. Who y'all think y'all came forth to? To come together. What is this? And it's right up under there too. What is that? Things coming together in reverse. You're stuck on it. They're lying to you. You're not even turning the other way to work on your foundation. You got the Three of Cups, they in reverse. There's no communication happening. It's not reciprocating. You're not able to go. You on step A, you can't go to step B. Because there's resistance. They're denying it. And you're stuck in the fact that they're denying it instead of turning and working on it. Y'all have to work on it. It's 2 cups over here. That means they're going to stop doing whatever they're doing and work on y'all foundation. Then they got the 5 on it. This is one person. This is where one person is thinking that their mind is on fixing it. One person's mind is on the pain. Unlocked doors, got the police. A couple more and I'm going to wrap it up. Because this is just the energy I was feeling. It's intriguing. It's going to get worked on when they talk. You have to come together and talk. Communication has to happen. Somewhere there's a blockage. Somebody's not talking. And if there is an attempt to talk, they deny it to the fullest. And what do you do in that aspect? Make a decision. Should you trust yourself? Leave? Because yourself told you this information. Or do you just stay? And just let it proceed. And hopefully they stop eventually on their own. It's a decision you have to make. I wouldn't say just rush a divorce. Personally. But you might just want to let that course just run. If it's meant to be, because they're going to come back. It's in the cards right here, as I said. They're essentially going to come back to you. But right now they're somewhere else. Your mind is right there too. There's maybe even making it worse. Because you may not even want to, and she came out before. You might not want to forgive them. Because your mind is stuck on the pain. Safe in the light, are you thirsty? Flasher's prayer. Yep. Eternal aspect, you gotta pray on your foundation. Prayer is needed. Which, if you're an actual faith person, that's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I'm not gonna word it that way the way I was thinking. Because it's just like, there's people who's not faith people, but they still pray. They still know that something's there. They just don't want to say faith or whatever, but they pray. They seek, I'm going to use that word, guidance, help. I'm ready to eat. I haven't ate. I'm going to have some veggie pasta. My stomach is starting to grumble. I'm hungry. Which is funny a little bit because this card right here is, are you thirsty? But this flash of prayer. You may not even want to pray for your partner. You may just feel like you in that much pain where it's like you may be even looking away from praying. Like the whole thought of prayer is like, I felt this way before, honestly, where I was like, I don't want to say the words out of my mouth no more. I'm saying it because I said it at that point in time I said it, but I have a different way of looking at it now. Where I said, fuck God. You know, there's nothing to believe in. Like, I really was so upset where it's like, pray. No, for what? You know, like, for what? Why would he allow this foolery to happen? Where was his antennas at? Oh, he was a part of it? Intriguing, you know? Prayer was last thing on my mind, honestly. But it'd be beneficial. Then you would get the answers that you really need to move forward, to help, if that makes sense. Safe in the light. You have to talk. This might be when y'all have to go to somebody. Cause I feel a resistance energy. Like, some people don't feel safe. A safe zone, you know? It's not safe to have a conversation with just y'all two. Y'all might have to actually go to, like, counseling or therapy where there's another person in there, where you can speak freely and not feel like a fight might actually start pop off, you know? Because most people, they try to behave, they conduct themselves nicely when other people are around. So that might be needed. And are you thirsty? Whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. I think this is go with the prayer and part of your intuition. What energy, you guys? But those been the vibes. This is a oneness that gotta be worked on. Somebody faithed and led them to wander off. But even with me saying it from lessons that I have learned personally, they had to go learn something. Some people, that's a hard thing to believe. Like, you could have told me this, you know, but it's kind of hard to explain other than the way I just did. It's just, this is the part where you be supportive and forgive them, which sometimes ain't the funniest thing to do when you feel like you have been hurt, betrayed. The thought of forgiveness just seemed like, do I look like some sucker or something? But it's like, yep, for your spouse you are. Lucky you, huh? Lucky for you, huh? Seriously, that's just the energy and how I gotta go. And that was resting in God. Like I seen a card that flipped up and said resting in God's lap. So, anything else I need to say before I wrap it up? That's pretty much it. Communicate. If need to, find a safe space to communicate in. But I really am never a fan of that aspect, personally, unless it's just that extreme where you have to have somebody else. But it's your spouse, yo. You should be able to talk to them about any and everything. Or you may have entered into a foundation that was not right, and that's why it's crumbling. Honestly, and I did say, you know, I'm not for divorce, but if that's not the case, where you have to run off to somebody else, it might be the wrong person, and that's a part of a lesson. You should be able to tell them any and everything, yo. There should be nothing that you can't tell your partner, and they not understand you, or at least they're willing to understand you, I should say, and will forgive you. It's like, it's not even a thought. Like, they would not even think of not forgiving you, because they know how this oneness works. You have to forgive. I can't stop stressing to say that over and over. That's just the energy. I feel like it is. But as I was saying, talk, do, communicate. If you need, do get you extra help in a safe area to communicate. But if y'all can, just literally talk one-on-one. Go for a walk, a drive. You know, make it a comfortable situation. Start off in a comfortable situation for yourselves, I would say personally. And then open up. Don't come off like a monster though quickly. Don't put a defense aspect up quickly. That'd be no good. The approach is really important. How you approach, because you can approach and it goes all bad. It's like somebody, you walking and somebody come up behind you, you know, but their idea is to scare you, and it's like you really do. You might square up real quick. Like, what the fuck are these? Approach me like that, and it automatically set a defense aspect, because you know your intention is already to attack. Don't do that. It's not gonna end well. But a nice approach somehow. I don't know. You'll figure that part out. An example. Give an example how to approach. I don't know. My everyday life, in situations that I deal with, watch TV together. Start random conversations, you know. I don't know. Random good conversations. Like, we really want to learn that person, if that makes sense. You know. So how was your day, you know? I don't know. Have you missed me? What you eat today? I don't know. Random conversations. Random. But informal at the same time, where it's making it comfortable, if that makes sense. You know. That's just the way I think of it. You know, I want somebody to approach me that way, not, I know that you've been doing this. You know, like, whoa, yo. 5 steps back, please, and start again. Five steps back and start again. I give myself chuckles. That's just the way my mind operates. But that's been the vibes, guys.